Power, borders, and belief, the hidden architecture of global conflict. Welcome to Bilal Hamza's YouTube channel. In today's podcast, we untangle the engineered chaos of our modern world. Today's episode is not for the faint of heart. We're going beyond headlines, past propaganda, into the roots of war, wealth, and Western control. Today's questions are modern wars really about freedom and democracy or cold economic dominance? Why were Iraq, Libya, and Syria really invaded? What is the deeper agenda behind Iran-Israel-Palestine conflict? And why is the West so unconditionally loyal to Israel despite international outcry? If you have ever questioned the official story, stay with us, because you're not alone. The 11 pillars of the New World Order, a blueprint for global control. This isn't science fiction. It's a structured system, one step at a time. Let's break it down. The Middle East, the invasion triangle. Let's move now from theory to practice. The blood-soaked desert and broken cities that reveal the deeper power games of global politics. Iraq. The petrodollar war. In 2003, the US invaded Iraq. The official reason: weapons of mass destruction. But the WMDs were never found. So why really invade Iraq? Saddam Hussein's decision to switch oil sales from dollars to euros threatened the petrodollar system, the very backbone of US financial supremacy. If oil is no longer traded in dollars, demand for the US currency collapses, undermining its global influence. The petrodollar ensures that countries around the world must hold US dollar to buy oil, creating constant demand for American currency and giving the US unmatched financial leverage. Saddam's economic independence, control over vast oil reserves, and rejection of US terms made him a geopolitical liability. And the outcome was Iraq was invaded, occupied, and reshaped. But the true weapon wasn't oil, it was currency. Libya, Gaddafi's gold dinar. Muammar Gaddafi's Libya was stable, resource-rich, and debt-free, a rare success story in Africa. But Gaddafi wanted more. A unified Africa. He proposed a gold-backed currency, the dinar, to be used in trade, particularly in oil, as an alternative to the US dollar and euro. This threatened Western financial dominance in Africa. A shift away from dollar or euro in Africa oil trade would reduce US and Europe economic control across the continent. Within months, Gaddafi was labeled a dictator. NATO launched airstrikes and he was executed. Libya fell into civil war and chaos. Was the West protecting human rights or defending economic empires? Syria. Pipeline geopolitics. At the heart of Syrian conflict lies a gas pipeline. In the early 2000s, Qatar proposed a pipeline to send its natural gas to Europe via Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Syria, and Turkey, bypassing Russia and undercutting its gas dominance in Europe. Syria's Assad rejected the deal, instead supporting an Iranian pipeline backed by Russia, which would compete with Western energy interests. This wasn't just pipeline politics, it was about controlling the energy future of Europe. Assad's refusal set off alarms in the West. Soon after, civil war broke out, with the US arming rebel factions, Russia backing Assad, and millions suffering. Result: Syria became another failed state, energy control hanging in the balance. Iran, Israel, and Palestine, the modern holy war. Beneath religion lies a brutal game of influence, security, and survival. Israel, strategic stronghold. Founded after the horrors of Holocaust, Israel emerged with immense global sympathy, but since then, it has been embedded into US foreign policy as an indispensably ally. It occupies a vital location bordering Lebanon, Syria, Egypt, and Jordan, controlling key air, sea, and land routes. Israel is a military tech hub. It shares intelligence, tests U.S. weapon systems, and helps secure America's Middle Eastern interest. More than ally, Israel is a forward operation base for U.S. power projection. Iran, the independent rebel. Iran stands nearly alone in the Muslim world in opposing Western financial system and military presence. Post-1979 revolution, Iran kicked out Western companies, nationalized oil, and established a theocracy that condemned Zionism and U.S. imperialism. Iran funds resistance groups like Hezbollah and Hamas not only as religious allies, but to build strategic depth across the region. Its nuclear ambitions terrify Israel, not just for security reasons, but because a nuclear-capable Iran would become immune to invasion. Thus, sanction, isolation, assassinations, and war threats. Now, let's dive into how was Israel created. The roots go deep. In the late 1800s, European Jews, facing centuries of persecution, organized the Zionist movement, seeking a homeland in Palestine and under Ottoman rule. 1917, the British issued Balfour Declaration endorsing a Jewish homeland in Palestine. After World War II, with the Holocaust fresh, the global mood favored a safe refuge for Jews. In 1947, the UN proposed a two-state solution. Jews agreed, Arabs rejected. 1948, Israel declared independence. Neighboring Arab nations invaded. Israel not only survived, it expanded. For Israelis, it was independence. For Palestine, the catastrophe. 700,000 Palestinians displaced. Today, millions live in refugee camps. Their statehood still denied. To understand the present conflict, you must first understand the unresolved trauma of 1948. Let's step back. Wars aren't always fought for democracy. They are fought for currency supremacy, resource control, ideological dominance, and strategic positioning. Who controls energy? Who writes the rules of trade? Who decides what's true in media? From Baghdad to Benghazi, from Gaza to Damascus, we see not random chaos, but patterns of power. Whether you call it a conspiracy or call it strategy, one thing is clear. Sovereignty is being replaced by submission. Local cultures are being overrun by centralized systems. Independence is being punished. You have been listening to Bilal Hamza's podcast on power, borders, and belief. Share this episode. Challenge the narratives. Seek the truth. Peace and love, Hamza.